It's time, everybody, to put on our rose-colored glasses today because this video is going to be all about the hottest pink inks. I'm preparing to pen pretty pinks patiently and passionately, pursuing, pondering, playtesting, and putting on these prime pigments through poetic pose to pinpoint picking the pinnacle of proper pink penmanship performance. And yeah, I had to look at my notes to be able to read that because I can't memorize all that. I have 10 fountain pen inks today, all pink colors. These are all from gouletpens.com, and I'm gonna be putting them to paper, comparing them to each other, and kind of ranking them a little bit to see which is the most gorgeous pink ink. Now, of course, this is going to be very subjective, so I thought it might be helpful to kind of break it down since pinks can be so different. I'm going to break it down into 3 different pink categories. I'm going to have the pastel pinks, the hot pinks, and like red pinks. So I'm just going to use them all. I've got a couple different tools here, same tools I've used for other ink showdowns, but I have Tomoe River. This is A5 sheets, 52 grams, so it's the thin stuff, but really ink resistant. It shows the colors well, shows, you know, things like shading and what's it called, shimmer and stuff like that really well. The pen this time, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Previously, I've used this roller and cleaner glass pen for all of the other ink showdowns. I got a really good suggestion from y'all in the comments though about using the Pilot Iroshizuku dip pen because it's basically a Pilot steel nib like you would have on a fountain pen, but it's in dip pen form. So it's easy to ink up. It's easy to write with it. It looks more like actual fountain pen writing. So we're gonna try that today. And then for doing the swab portion of it, I have a Kakamori stainless steel dip nib, which should be good. And that should show more of the, you know, super, super wet characteristics of the ink. So I've cut all this paper up into little squares. I'm going to take 10 different pinks that I have, and we're going to classify them and then rank which one's the best at the end. So come and join me. It'll be fun. All right, so I'm coming strong out of the gate with this one. When I think of like a really good, iconic pink, hot pink color, I think of Diamine Hope Pink. Yeah, so this will be a good one. I'm expecting good things from this one. Want to be strong out of the gate. So let me get my little paper square here. Now, honestly, I had not used this dip pen a whole lot before testing it out to see if I wanted to use it for this video. It's kind of hard not to get it on the wood when inking it up like this. It doesn't have a feed or anything, so you might think like it's not going to hold any ink, but it actually does okay. So this is going to be Diamine. And see, what's nice about this is it's not nearly as wet as the Rowan Klingner was. So it looks more like an actual Pilot medium nib because that's what it is. So we're going to see how it holds up. Pink ink is usually known for staining a little bit more than other colors. So we're going to see how it holds up, how that wood holds up. I may end up with a pink wood holder after this, but that's okay. Because you know what? It's a dip pen. It's meant to get inky. Okay. No, that came off pretty well. It's got a nice finish on the wood, so I think it'll hold up okay. And then let's do the Kakamori here. Oh yeah, very bright. Not a ton of shading. Now what I'm expecting from some of these pink inks is we're gonna get some red tones. I've got some shimmer ones lined up here, so that should be pretty good. We might get some shading, not so much on the hot pink ones, but probably more on the pastel ones. And then I think we're going to get some sheen on some of these ones too. So I went, you know, I kind of picked some of the more popular ones. I think they'll be pretty good. Anything that had the name pink in it, I tried to pick. But there's a lot that doesn't have the name pink in it. So I went with that. So very nice, like bubblegum pink. Think of like breast cancer ribbon pink. That's what we're looking at here with Hope Pink. In fact, I believe that that's where the Hope Pink came from, was a breast cancer ribbon. I don't know if it's like officially with a Susan G. Komen thing. There's like licensing stuff involved with that. So I don't know if that's the case, but I believe that there's some association with breast cancer in Diamine Hope Pink. At least it was when it was initially developed. I should probably learn more about that. But anyway, yeah, very nice looking pink. So we'll set that aside and do some more. Robert Oster Rose Gilt Tint. All right, so we got a shimmy on this one. This is glittery, and look at that. Look how much is in the bottom of that thing. It's a lot. It does look really cool though when you first kind of start to do it because, you know, you get to see it, the shimmer kind of going into suspension there. But it does take a minute to get it all up into the ink because, you know, the particulate settles down after a while. I do like the Robert Oster bottles though, because this is actually the bottle that I use because I use blue water ice all the time. And this is 30 milliliters, which is 1 ounce basically. So you can actually take this on airplanes, which is nice. So when I travel, I just take one of these with me, and that works pretty well. You know, the bottle's got a wide enough cap where you don't really have to worry too much about whatever pen that you're trying to fill it from. Now this is a pretty popular color. This is definitely going to be more on the like pastel side. Oh, very much so. Rose. There we go. It started out really dark, but the shimmer's coming out as it starts to dry. I really like using this nib because it is putting down less ink, which I think is going to be good for, you know, representing well what it's going to look like more in your pen. So it goes down very dark looking, very almost like, not quite a brown, but it does look kind of like taupe. Is that maybe the right color? But it's going to come out as it dries. That shimmer especially is going to make it really pop. You know, there's a lot of pink inks that have shimmer in them, so I found. So I knew I had to include some of those in here. So obviously, very different looking pink. It's kind of surprising how different pinks looked. I feel like that's just one of these colors that can vary quite a bit from one to the other. So it's going to lighten up a bit more as it dries. Really nice looking color though, I gotta say. Totally different vibe than the Hope Pink. But if you're looking for a pastel pink, that's a nice one. So we'll let that dry and I'll keep going. Jacques Herbin Rouille donc. Probably said that wrong. Rusty Anchor is what this means. This is going to be another, probably more in the dusty kind of pale purple or pale pink category. This is a surprisingly popular ink for how not flashy it is. I think that's exactly why it is popular though. Can I spell it though? Goodness. Jacques Herbin. I'll dip it again just to be sure. Now what's interesting, we've had this ink the longest of any ink because this color would have been in our original shipment that we got back in November 2009 here at Goulet Pens. I got to look at the bottle to see how to spell this because French is not my first language. Interesting. I'm having to dip this one more than the other two. It's not holding on to the nib quite as much. Not that that really matters in terms of when you're actually using in a fountain pen. There's more just a dip pen thing. But I don't know, whatever that means. That's a thing. That would happen too on the other pens when I was using the glass pen with the other inks on the glass pen. Is some of them would just flow right off of the thing, be super wet. Other ones would, you know, be much more reserved, much drier. Now I recommend if you are interested in any of these, you know, samples are really good to start, especially if you got like 10 inks like this today and you're having a hard time narrowing down to a few. That's where it can be really good to get samples because you can dip them, get an impression just like this, but then you haven't used much ink after you do that. You can fill up a pen, you can do different things. So there's nothing like actually getting the ink on the paper in your real life, and then you get to see the impression of it, and then you can ink it up in a pen if you really like it. So there you go. Little bit less purpley than Rose Gilt Tint. Definitely still more in that camp though. Over here, strong shader. It's not as saturated of a color. So I think that's why the Rusty Anchor tends to be popular, is because you get those really drastic shading properties, which we'll see more as it dries up. Pilot Iroshizuku Hana-ikada. This is going to be a fairly conventional ink. This is one of the newer ones that has come to the Iroshizuku lineup. And they have some other ones. They have a really, really popular magenta, Yamabudo, which you could, we classify it under pink in our filters on Goulet pens. All the magentas are under the pinks, but Yamabudo is way too dark to be in this video. This one is much, much lighter pink like you would typically think of with pinks. Whoops. Forgot how to do a lowercase z for a minute there. There we go. This is a really nice rose pink color. Oh, this one's going to be like borderline between kind of a pastel and a hot pink. Oh, gosh. Y'all are going to have to get at me in the comments on how I categorize these. I don't know why I do this to myself. I'm making this harder on myself than I need to. I could just swab each of these up and then not have to rank them at all. But I don't know. It makes it a little spicier when you do a ranking because everybody's got opinions and then you get to share them and tell me how wrong mine are. I don't know that I can call this hot pink. It's very pale. Beautiful color though. Beautiful color. That looks really nice. Truth be told, I haven't used this in person yet before, but that is very pleasant. I think if you're writing with like an extra fine nib, it might actually be a little too light. It depends on, how wet your pen is going to be, but overall the color is beautiful. A little bit of red tone to it. As the Rusty Anchor's got definitely more brown tone to it. Really nice. That rose gilt tint, look at that. It's like more of a mauve almost. Boy, this is going to be hard to rank those. But yeah, 6 to go. Let's keep going. Diamine Pink Glitz Shimmer-tastic. Got another shimmer one for you. I mean, I feel like hot pinks are just asking for shimmer. You know what I mean? Part of prepping for this video was me talking to Janaea, our resident pink queen here at Goulet Pens. If you've watched any of our TikTok or Instagram or, YouTube shorts and stuff like that, she'll be on there. She's always got something pink going on. She loves her Banus with lots of glitter in it. She loves to ink it up with pinks. So she absolutely helped me put this list together almost exclusively. These are her picks. That looks cool though, doesn't it? Just in the bottle, the shimmer kind of swirling around in there. That is super cool. I could just watch that all day. I got a monitor over here so I can see what it looks like. It's so cool. Anyway, okay, Brian, you got a job to do. Pink Glitz. This is going to be very pink and very glitzy, if I had to guess. I don't know if I've used this one in person yet. We're going to give it a shot. Now, Diamine has a lot of different bottles, depending on which we're going for. The one I had, Hope Pink, that other one is just in their regular line. I know I used an ink sample. We were out of stock of the bottles at the time that I'm filming this here. Oh yeah, it's got more of a red tone to it. Oh my gosh. I don't think Shimmer-tastic is technically in part of the name. I lost how many humps I did in my M's. Whatever. Y'all get the idea. Pink Glitz, all right. Oh, dried up. There we go. It's the only downside about dip pens is you may not make it very far. One thing I have seen that's kind of cool, and maybe I'll have to experiment with this, is people have taken like a piece of wire, like metal wire, and kind of coiled it up and put it underneath here to sort of act like a feed. I've seen that work really well before, so I might have to hack that and give it a shot myself. Okay, let's see how it looks in the broad swath. Oh yeah, this is definitely more of a red pink. I think this is going to go in my red pink category. It's a nice color. Boy, these all look so different from each other, don't they? It's kind of crazy. By the way, I didn't have a full-on pink shirt, but do you like my Hello Kitty shirt? Rachel has been playing a lot of the Hello Kitty Island Adventure, I think it's called. I have not played it, but I've Seen it and heard it quite a bit in my life. So I saw this shirt and I was like, yeah, let's go for that. It's fun. All right, very, very red pink color. I like that. Shimmer's not exploding out of it just yet, but I know it's coming. So I'm gonna put that over here, let it dry. Let's come back to Rouille is still kind of drying a little bit, but it is nice. You can definitely see the shading, especially like on the edges here. You can see how well that shades. Hana-ikada also is shading well. Not so much with the Hope Pink, definitely not Rose Gold Tint. That's just all shimmer happening right there. Pink Glitz, it's gonna look nice. All right, we're front half is done. Let's work on the back half. Pelikan Edelstein Rose Quartz. This is Pelikan's ink of the year from last year, I believe. Apricot Aisha is this year's. But Rose Quartz, it's kind of crazy looking because if you look in the bottle, it looks green. Like the ink looks kind of green, except where you can see the glass, like where the ink is not, it looks pink. That's kind of crazy looking. So I don't know what to expect with this one. I know it's a popular color, and I know that it goes over well, but it's very, I did not expect it to be so green. I've not used this one in person yet before. Oh, look at that. That looks nice in the cap. I think this is going to end up falling probably in this category over here. Okay, Pelikan. That's definitely going down pink. This is a nice color. I hate uppercase Qs, so I refuse to do them. The big number 2 looking thing, I can't deal with that. So we just go with a modified version in Brian land. Okay, and then swabbing it out. Ooh, that's cool. Very interesting looking properties going on here. Neat. Yeah, so that's going to fall to me in this like kind of rosy category over here, the pastels, I think. I don't know, does rose gold tint belong in the pastels as shimmery as it is? I think it does. It's like a gilded rose. Or it's like a morning dew on the roses. I like all these colors, honestly. It's like a pale bubblegum. That's like a bubblegum you've been chewing for a while and it's lost all its flavor. So gross. Okay, let's go to the next one. Organic Studio, Unicorn Blood, Pink Shimmer. I'm not going to write all that. I'm just going to write Unicorn Blood. It's a weird name, but it's a shimmering hot pink ink, so we want to use it. Whoa, and that is vibrant. Oh, this might be walking the line with magentas. I knew there was going to be at least one ink that I was going to have on this list that y'all are going to light me up about it being magenta. Yep, this is going to be the one. Organics Studio. I always have to remember that it's like that. Maybe it'll lighten up as it dries with the shimmer. Unicorn Blood. So weird. Any ink with blood in the name is just weird to me, but they're usually popular. Like Diamine Writer's Blood is like super popular. But what are you going to do? Ox Blood, that's another one. Diamond Ox Blood. Those are red inks, though. It's a nice looking color so far. Let's see here. I guess there's some shimmer in here. Did I shake? I don't know if I shook it up a lot when I did it. I'll shake it up here. It's always a challenge for us to sample shimmer inks. We do take great attention. We give great attention to making sure that the shimmer remains even throughout. Oh, this is definitely magenta. Why did I put this in this category? You know, I was going off of the digital that we have of this. No, I think what it is the shimmer is going to lighten it up a bit. Y'all are gonna disagree. All right, I'm going to put it with the reds over here. I don't know why, because it doesn't belong in the other two. We're going to see. When I was looking at all these online, it's like, it seemed like it fell into neat categories, but whoops, dropped my nib. I may be proven wrong. Ooh, Rose Quartz. Oh, is that dry? That looks cool. It's like pink with kind of like a purpley outline. That's rad looking. I see why people like that ink now. That looks really cool down on the page. High shading. That'll do it. Jacques Herbin 1670 Fuchsia de Magellan. Got another shimmer ink here. Now this bottle looks awesome. This one, the Edelstein, they win. They win on cool bottle factor for this pink ink collection here. Now this is a shimmering ink, but they don't go so hard on the shimmer. Usually you can still see it kind of swirling around in there, which is really cool. But usually Jacques Herbin, their shimmer is a little bit finer, and it's not as much as you get with some of the Diamines and the rubbered Osters, which means that you don't have as many flow issues, because anytime there's shimmer, it's particulate inside there. You can have flow issues with certain feeds and stuff like that. But that tends to be less of an issue with the Jacques Herbins. All right, Jacques. Herbin. Whoops. Blobbed it out there a little bit. Let's see if I can soak up that excess. That's all right. Nobody's perfect. We'll leave it there. It's a happy little mistake. Happy, what does Bob Ross say? I don't remember what he says. Happy little trees. I know he said that. Okay, fuchsia. I can never remember how to spell fuchsia. I think sometimes there's an S in there, but not on this one. I'm gonna have to go with another line. Fuchsia de Magellan, there we go. Oh, unicorn blood looking cool. Yeah, I definitely should have put that in the magentas. Oh well. Okay. Fuchsia de Magellan. I think this one's going to be more of a hot pink. Maybe that rose quartz belongs in the hot pinks too. Now that it's dried up, that looks more hot pink. Yeah, I'm going to put this with the hot pinks. Okay, I'm getting a little more even dispersion across my three categories than it seemed like it was for a minute there. Okay, Fuchsia de Magellan. So that one, the shimmer is going to come out quite a bit once it's dried up more. Unicorn blood is looking cool. That's pink with like I forget what color shimmer is in there. I'm going to have to look at the website and see, but it looks like kind of a goldish shimmer. It could be some kind of hybrid shimmer. Yeah, looking good. These are nice. These are really cool. I don't see that much shimmer in the pink Glitz. That's kind of surprising because normally Diamine goes pretty hard on the shimmer. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I let it settle too much before I did it. I don't know. I got two more. Sailor Ink Studio 131. Now this one, I mean, it was a nice looking one, but Janaea specifically said this is like one of her favorite pinks. Now, the Ink Studios, they have some really cool colors, but I think sometimes they get overlooked, partly because there's just so many Ink Studio colors, but because they're just numbers. It's hard to remember, and it's not as easy to talk about. Okay, Sailor Ink Studio. I see why Janaea likes this. This is very much just like a straight up hot pink. Oh, I was trying to leave room for a long name and I forgot. It's just 3 digits. 131, there we go. Looks a little inconsistent with the dip nib, but that's because it's a dip nib. I think it's going to do a lot better with the Kakimori, which is also dip nib, but you know what I mean. It's different. Oh yeah, this is going to be like more like Hope Pink. Just that classic bright bubblegum hot pink. Is very vibrant. That's a nice looking color. If you're looking for just straight up hot pink, Hope Pink and 131. Those are good contenders. Fuchsia de Magellan is nice too. That's a little more of a premium ink. Well, I guess Ink Studio is a premium ink as well, cost-wise. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to move this down here just so I can kind of keep them grouped together. And then we got the last one. LAMY Crystal Rhodonite. LAMY's got a couple of good pink inks. Beryl is the other one, but that one is definitely more of a magenta. You know, when I do the magenta video, because I'm going to shoot that like right after this one, I am going to bring unicorn blood over there just like as an honorable mention, because it really is not as bright pink as what I thought it was going to be. But it happens. LAMY, okay. There you go. They like to do it in all caps. Here, LAMY crystal, rhodonite. There we go. This is going to be a nice pink. I don't know which one this is going to fall into, which category. We'll see if it's more of the reddish kind of color. Nice wide mouth on these bottles. So that's nice for filling. Oh yeah, this is going to be more of a red. Okay. Good. More of like a fuchsia kind of color. Even though Fuchsia de Magellan is very much pink. Fuchsia is one of those weird colors that can look more hot pink. It can look more magenta. Kind of like teal or turquoise, you know, it's like, what actually is that? Okay. Rhodonite. Is that more of a red? I guess I'll put it with the reds. They're more red colors because it's a darker, Fuchsia de Magellan. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to give these a minute, let them dry out a little bit while I kind of clean up, and then we'll do our official rankings here. All right, here we go. They've had mostly a chance to dry here. It's really cool. This rhodonite has got some sheen to it that's really come out. That's really cool. I dig that. All right, so I've got them grouped into my different categories. I'm really on the fence about rose quartz. That one's kind of tough because it almost could go into the hot pinks, but I don't know. I think hot pink needs to be more true hot pink. Rhodonite is not that different than Fuchsia de Magellan, but it's just a little bit more red, and I have 3 categories, and I wanted to round it out. So it's red. All right, hot pinks. Which one is going to take the cake? Now, the Fuchsia de Magellan has a little bit of shimmer in it, which honestly is nice. It's not a ton of shimmer. It looks very classy. Hope Pink is bright hot pink. Ink Studio, also hot pink, looks pretty nice. For my dollar and my eyes, I think I'm gonna have to go with Hope Pink. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but that has been an all-around great hot pink. I think it still remains. This one's just a little bit more purple to the Ink Studio one. Fuchsia de Magellan, you got the shimmer in there. I think it's a good, if you want a toned down shimmer, that could be really nice. But for what I think of straight up hot pink bubblegum, Diamine Hope Pink is going to win. Moving over here to the rose kind of pastel pinks. This is tough because these all look so different from each other. Honestly, I like all of them for different reasons. Rouille Donk is honestly more borderline brown, which it's very descriptive as to what it is. But I don't think that one's going to take this category from me, though I see the appeal. Rose Gilt Tint looks really nice for what it is, but it does look a little more kind of purpley mauve kind of color. And the shimmer is like very pronounced. Hana-ikada is really nice pale rose. Rose Quartz, though, I think is going to win it for me for this category. Maybe because it's the most vibrant, and I'm just trying to pick. Maybe I just like the most vibrant colors. But Rose Quartz is really popular color, and I see why. The shading and everything looks really, really cool. So this is purely my personal bias. I'm going to pick Rose Quartz. And then for the reddish ones, for me, I totally miscategorize this. I think this is more of a magenta. But even still, Unicorn Blood is cool. It's a nice color, but it's not that crazy to me. It's not that like amazing. It's got the shimmer in it, but it's not really doing it for me so much. Pink Glitz, it's kind of let me down a little bit. Maybe it's just how I use it or whatever, but I'm not seeing much shimmer there. And it just kind of looks like a pinky red. So almost by default, but actually rhodonite is a really nice color. And the sheen is really cool and really fun. It's not sheening a ton with the writing, so it's not something that I think would be obnoxious. But when you really dump it on there, you get a little bit of sheen, which is kind of interesting. But in terms of like a reddish pink, that is really hitting the spot for me. So there you go. Those are my 3 winners. Hope Pink, LAMY Crystal Rhodonite, and Edelstein Rose Quartz. All popular colors. I think y'all will all agree. But honestly, these are all really nice pinks. I'm liking these a lot more than I thought I would because pink is not normally my color, but I see why these are the colors that people like. So you can get samples of these all at gouletpens.com. You know, definitely check that out because committing to a whole bottle of any of these right off the bat might be a bit much for you. Let me know in the comments what you think of these colors, what you think of my picks. And yeah, be so sure to subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching and right on.